What is going on YouTube? Nigeria here representing JVS. Got a movie review for The Invisible Man, the 2020 version of this film. The original one came out in 1933. This version is brought to you by Universal and Blumhouse Productions. So with that being said, you kind of can put a little bit of things into perspective. Blumhouse, you know, it's going to be kind of gory, and Universal is the kings of resurrecting franchises and remakes and sequels and all that other good stuff. So, but this movie was truly something. I gotta say, first off, seeing this in the Dolby Theater, the sound quality was just amazing, and I think it really complemented the needed noises that this movie needed to really put you on the edge of your seat. So this movie was starring Elisabeth Moths and Aldis Hodge, Reid, and a couple of other people. And when you really look at the cast, it's really diverse in the sense of like you kind of mesh them all together and you know something really special is going to happen. Elisabeth Moss is just phenomenal. This literally might be one of her best performances to date. She truly shows the scale of her acting in all ways. But the premise of this movie is that Elisabeth Moss, who plays this character Cecilia, she really is escaping an abusive relationship in all ways, physically, mentally, everything. She's pretty much held captive by this guy. And eventually she comes up with a plan to get away, and still away from him, is still haunted by him. Even receiving in the news that her ex-boyfriend had committed suicide, his presence is really still felt. So she tries to begin to like really rebuild her life in a sense of like, you know, living a normal life and still not living in fear, just to find out that who she thought once was gone is still around. So the one thing I'll say is that this movie being called Invisible Man really is kind of trippy in a way, because it's like if you didn't know that the title was Invisible Man, you wouldn't be like really anticipating some type of invisibility guy or some sort in scenes. And what I mean by that is that because of how some of the scenes were shot with like 3D cameras and really panning action shots, it's so wide range that there's parts of the set that's just blank and you're like, there must be something there, and it really leads you for the anticipation of like what's to come, which is cool. Much like I said, I did another review for this already, much like I said in that review, much like Paranormal Activity, you know at nighttime something's going to creep out at you, just because of what the movie is based on. And this movie absolutely does the same. It's like, I know some invisible guy is there or could be there. Something's going to move, whatever it may be. And it's cool. So, but, you know, outside of that, there's some really unique things that happen in this movie. The choreography, as far as with the action, and the killing, whatever it may be, it's really cool because in a sense you have an invisible person versus a person that you see, a visible person, so I say. And I'm not sure if the scenes was shot, you know, with one man choreography, or was there really some type of technology, whether it be green screen, whatever it may be, where it is a 2-man but it's just blanked out. With that being said, if it's solo choreography, absolutely amazing. If it's 2 people, the technology is amazing, and that, you know, considering what this movie's worth, the CGI is just not crazy. It's almost not even noticeable, to be honest. So that works. Blumhouse, we said in the beginning, when it comes to Blumhouse, we know the killing is going to be crazy. And indeed, it was that. It was like, wow, a lot of the times, like, almost to a point, wow, then speechless. Because just like, did I just see that type of craziness that happened in the movie? But nonetheless, you know, as much as the good is in the movie, there's a couple of things I did not really like about the movie. Not to take a notch from it, because this is a must-see for sure. But there was like the logical aspect in this movie. There was some things that just logically didn't make sense as far as the story, as far as the character's ideology, and just psychology, period. And the human factor, nature and factor, just really, the absence of logic in some of it was just completely noticeable. Like, it just wasn't there. And it's hard for you to overlook, which can sometimes tarnish a story because it's just like, yeah, no one would have did that, or that doesn't make sense, and I can't get over that. But other than that, I thought it was great. I thought that I thought the acting by Elisabeth Moths was so good. Again, I think one of her best performances too, and all the complimentary characters I thought did really good job as well. The one big thing I definitely want to say is that when you see the suit, oh my god, like absolutely amazing. The suit is just that good, and the voice acting worked. No matter if it was Oliver Jackson-Cohen, who played the wealthy, brilliant scientist / abusive boyfriend, no matter if it was actually him that did the voice acting work or someone else, whoever was voice acting the suit was spectacular. Really menacing, and even if it was modified or just completely practical, it was just really that good. Aldis Hodge, like I said, who was the childhood friend of Cecilia, was a really good job as well too. And again, I can't stress enough his daughter, who's played by Storm Reid. This little girl is just growing into a star, and I'm loving seeing her play so many different roles. She was in The Wrinkle of Time, which is the most happy-go-lucky movie you can watch, to this, and it's just like, yes, I'm loving it. You know what I mean? And other things she's played in as well. But yeah, the other thing, the score by Benjamin Wallfish. This guy is really good. I'm still learning his sound, but when I see work and I don't recognize it, and I look up to see who it is, and I see that he was part of it, it just makes sense. He's done Shazam. He's done Blade Runner, the new Blade Runner. So you just see somebody who can just really compose any project that's given to him and really go like all in for it. But overall, I think you guys will really enjoy this film, and I think that you wanna definitely be ready, because you get all the jumps, the chills. It's a thriller for sure. As much as it's a horror film, this is a thriller. But nonetheless, check it out. Let me know what you think in the comments. Look at the pinned comment on there too. You can see my original review, which my original review is fresh out the theater. This is a day after now, so I had a little bit more time to think about it. My thoughts and views are still pretty much the same, but I just elaborate on it a little bit different. But nonetheless, thank you for tuning in. I'll catch you guys for the next one.